Mark Aiston.
Phone 8223 0000.
Interactive radio, $13.95, Adelaide's FiveAA.
19 to 10. Anne agrees with everything Faye said. Faye was very, very emotive and emotional on the line. Look after our own needy first, and that's in response to the fact that these people at Inverbrachy are being looked after. They've got good facilities and all that sort of thing. And as Faye was saying, she looks around and there are people who aren't in, people who in her area who aren't in air-conditioned homes and who are struggling significantly. So, look, it certainly brings out a lot of emotion in people, that's for sure. G'day, Aaron.
How you going, matey?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. If I wasn't having a laugh today at Mike Ryan and his little arrogant speech, it was Jerry Harvey from Harvey Norman.
Yeah, well, he's sort of taken a bit of a step back from this whole thing now, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he reckons... it's reported sort of he's taken a step back, but he's saying otherwise.
He was on Current Affair, wasn't he?
Yeah, Today Tonight.
Today Tonight, yeah. Was it? Yeah.
Pretty funny.
What did he say? We probably should just set this up. He was one of a number of retailers who have been pushing for a GST on products that you buy online overseas. Yeah,
and only a small amount get that exemption as such. And I mean, it's
not going to make any difference, mate, because there are products online that are a lot cheaper than just the 10% that the GST is on top of. Well,
that's it. The argument was that the people employed to collect that would outweigh any revenue raised, so it's just a bit of a joke. Yeah, what I wanted to talk to you tonight about was Ward 4G, the eating disorder unit at Flinders Medical Centre.
Hang on, Ward 4G.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It's the only eating disorder unit dedicated to treating eating disorders in South Australia.
Yeah. Whereabouts is it, did you say?
That's at Flinders Medical Centre.
Yeah.
Now, the government wants to close it, or they prefer the word move to the general psych facilities at Margaret Tobin Centre, which is in the same... There's a couple of problems with that.
You're just breaking up a little bit, Aaron. Just maybe move a little bit or knock your phone.
Yeah, I'll go outside.
No, it's okay. It might even be our fault here.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
So where did you say they were going to move it to?
Just to the Margaret Tobin Centre.
Yeah.
That's at Flinders Medical Centre, but that caters for general psychiatric patients.
Yeah.
So health professionals were worried that you're going to have incidences of sexual assault and violence on the ward, because sometimes you've got patients with behavioural problems and whatnot. And the other issue was that under 18s won't be admitted.
Is that right?
So,
where are they admitted then?
Well, from what I've read, the adolescent ward at the Women's and Children's, they have a program, but it's not... there's not much psychological about it with their treatment. It's not a dedicated program like they've got at Flinders. So, I mean, the government hasn't made any announcements to increase funding for the Women's and Children's program. They've just said that, which is sort of ironic, because patients are sent from Women's and Children's currently to Flinders because they don't have this service, but they're just saying, oh, look, they'll be fine, they'll be taken care of adequately. Well,
if you don't mind me asking, why are you interested, Aaron? Do you know someone that has an eating disorder, or do you have an eating disorder?
Yeah, I suffered from an eating disorder in 2003. I've gotten over that.
What was it? Do you mind me asking?
Anorexia.
And do you mind me asking you a couple of questions about that?
Oh, go for it, that's fine.
How did it start?
I sort of contracted it after I had a bout of pneumonia. I lost a lot of weight from the pneumonia because I had a separate psychiatric illness. It sort of became a comorbid product.
Say that again?
It's just a comorbid product of other psychiatric illness I had.
Yeah.
So, I developed an eating disorder. I was pretty sick. I think my lowest weight got to 51 kilos.
Wow. How tall are you?
I'm 178 centimetres.
Wow, okay.
I was pretty unwell.
And you just ate, and then you brought it back up?
It wasn't that easy.
No.
It took some time on that ward.
No. What I mean is, when you were unwell, you ate and then brought it back up, or you just didn't eat?
No, that's bulimia. I restricted my food intake completely, so I'd exercise a lot, I'd lose a crap load of weight, yeah, I was just obsessive about food and what I would eat and what I wouldn't, and calorie counting, and
wow.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare.
And during that period, did you feel unwell in your head?
Yeah, it's like when you look in the mirror, it's like you're hallucinating. It's very hard to spot, and you've got all these people around you telling you you've lost a lot of weight, and you're like, meh.
You feel as though you look okay.
Yeah, no, it's very strange like that.
So as an extension, how did you get over that though, Aaron?
It took a lot of patience. I decided that I wanted to get better, and I couldn't be too critical about how I perceive myself, because I've ended up saying to myself, look, maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am very underweight, and I need to get myself to a healthy level.
And was it parents and friends and family that helped you in that area as well, or did you?
Yeah, a little bit. It was very hard for them because, as it stands, there's not much support in the community. Which is another thing. I mean, the government's saying that they're going to introduce all these intermediate services, which are welcome, but I don't think that they should be funded at the expense of some of your frontline acute services like this ward that they're going to close down.
I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of them closing that down or moving it. And the reason I say that is when Mum, I mentioned this the other day actually, when Mum was she was in Glenside a couple of times, but when she was in Fullerton Private, we got to know a young lady there. She was only 16 or 17, about my age, and she was suffering from what you were suffering from, and I think she had other mental issues, and it was dreadful because it's a very visual thing. I mean, you look at this person, and they're so skinny, and then we got to know the parents, and the worry that those parents went through was, and I don't know whether she ever got better. We lost touch with her, so. You know.
Unfortunately, anorexia has a very high morbidity rate, which means you've got a lot of people who never recover, and unfortunately they die.
Yeah, they just get malnourished completely, malnutrition. Yeah.
So anyway, I've been working with this person on Facebook who created a page which has gained a lot of support. I checked it the other night, and there's now 1,500 members. Yeah, which is good, and we're setting up a rally on February the 9th at Parliament House. We've got support from Isabel Redmond, Shadow Health Minister Duncan McFetridge.
Yeah, wonderful.
Also Wayne Horwood from ACEDA, who's that's a non-for-profit organisation to do with eating disorders.
Wonderful, yes. You sound as though you're organised, yeah. What's the date of it again?
It's the 9th of February.
And what time?
12:30 to 1:30 p.m.
12:30 to 1, yep.
And we're going to be having a few speakers. I'll be there. I'm pretty much I've organised the rally, so I'll be coordinating it and whatnot. And we're hoping to get a large turnout.
I think that's fantastic. What you also need to do is that day or the day before, send out a media release. If I know this will sound a bit overwhelming for you, but send out a media release to the 4 TV channels, 7, 9, 10 and the ABC. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's what we're going to do.
Good.
There's also a petition which is available on the Shadow Health Minister's website. It's just a petition which specifies what we want the government to do regarding this. We don't want any decisions made which are going to compromise patient safety, which is what this is doing. So we've gotten a few signatures already. I think we've gotten about 400 to 600. That's been through people actually going out in the city and obtaining support and whatnot and collecting signatures. So we're hoping to gain a lot more signatures than that, because it's going to take a lot more for the government to say, hey, wow, this is a bit of a mistake.
Mate, that's fantastic. I wish you well, Aaron.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wish you well. I'm pleased that you're well. I take your point that you're one of the lucky ones, but... there's a lot that aren't, and that's the sort of another annoying thing, is the government knows how much of a problem this is and how vulnerable these people are, and a lot of people suffering from these disorders, they're very scared and vulnerable, so they're not going to be speaking out about it because it's very personal. They're introverted, yep. And that's a problem in itself, and I think that's quite disgusting of the government to, not go through with any talks or whatnot, or
public consultation.
So that rally, February the 9th at 12:30 to 1 o'clock outside Parliament House.
Yep, 12:30 to 1:30 p.m.
And what's the Facebook address, or what's the words that you'd put into Facebook to find it?
It's called Save Ward 4PG.
Save Ward
4GP.
4GP.
And that's on Facebook.
That's on Facebook. All right.
Yep.
I wish you well, Aaron.
Thank you, matey.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Bye. See, that's another good thing about not this show, but all shows, all programs on 5AA, and that is that someone like Aaron can give a very good cause and a very pertinent issue that's very close to him. He can give it clear voice, and he can, maybe 70, 85%, 95% of people might not have been interested in that, but it's the 5% who are. They might be interested in going to the rally, they might be interested in getting onto Facebook, and then that starts to generate a little bit of interest. So it's great. That's another great reason that that Talkback is such a powerful tool for people like Aaron. And